There's a certain quality in football that doesn't care whether you're technical, strong, young, or someone who picked up the game late. If you possess it, you come out on top. And that quality? Speed. Not just straight line pace, but football acceleration. The kind that lets you blast past a defender, slip inside before they even register your movement, or burst into open space like you predicted the play beforehand. And here's what most players never realize. You don't need to be born with it. You don't need a bodybuilder's physique. And you definitely don't need to spend hours grinding heavy reps in the gym. Because real speed isn't about bulk. It's about how your body moves. Once you learn to move the way your body is naturally built to operate, everything shifts. Most players assume speed comes from raw power. Bigger quads, higher jumps, monster lifts. So they train like lunatics, add muscle, and expect to turn into rockets. But what actually happens? They get slower, stiffer, easier to injure. Look at someone like Ademola Lookman. As a teenager, quick, fluid, rarely injured. Then he bulks up. And out of nowhere, he's dealing with muscular problems, missing matches, and losing that quick burst. Why? Because stacking muscle doesn't equal more speed. Not if your body has no clue how to coordinate it. And here's the deeper issue. Most players don't even know how to run properly. They copy-track athletes chasing Usain Bolt's mechanics. But remember, Bolt tried football, and he struggled. Not because he wasn't fast, but because his type of speed didn't fit the sport. Football isn't a straight 100-meter sprint. It's short bursts, stops, turns, explosive takeoffs with the ball. Bolt needed too many steps to slow down. His timing was off. His control wasn't there. So copying sprinters won't make you faster on a pitch. Instead, study the players who get it right. Mbappé, Henry, prime R9. Watch closely, and you'll spot the same patterns. Heels slightly lifted, toes angled outward, knees bowing, hips rotating in a spiral, landing on the outer part of the forefoot, not the heel. This isn't random. It's what some refer to as GOA, greatest of all time action. A natural movement blueprint shared by history's quickest and most durable athletes. It's how the human body was meant to run. Smooth, efficient, explosive. But modern life kills this pattern. Cushioned sneakers mute foot strength. Hours of sitting tighten your hips. Flat surfaces and screens dull your natural movement. Instincts. You're not slow because you lack talent. You're slow because your body forgot its original mechanics. But you can bring them back. And it all begins with posture. Not just standing posture, but sprint posture. The whole body alignment that links your joints into one smooth system. Fast players don't lean backwards. They tilt forward from the ankles, not the waist. This shifts the center of mass forward, so each stride moves you ahead, not upward. And how do they hit the ground? Forefoot first, every time. Imagine running barefoot on pavement. Would you ever land on your heel? Not a chance. It would hurt like hell. Shoes hide that pain, but they don't remove the damage. Heel striking crushes your joints, ruins acceleration, and destroys agility. Landing on the mid-forefoot? That's the natural method. That's the fast method. You absorb force, store it, and explode out like a coiled spring. And the quickest way to relearn this? Barefoot sprinting. Not to look cool, not as a trend, but to reconnect your brain and your feet. Your feet are loaded with nerve endings. They're feedback machines. Run barefoot, and your body automatically fixes your form, because bad form hurts immediately. Over time, everything from your ankles to your hips gets stronger, more reactive, and more resilient. Your feet aren't simple blocks at the end of your legs. They're incredibly complex structures. 26 bones, 33 joints, over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. Designed to grip, spread, stabilize, and support force. Cushioned shoes turn them into sleepy passengers. Weak feet, stable ankles, shaky knees, tight hips, bad sprinting. A full domino effect. Strengthen your feet and the entire chain wakes up. Barefoot sprinting rebuilds this foundation. But it's only half the equation. You also need reactive strength, the ability to fire explosively the millisecond your foot touches the ground. Most players train power, not reactiveness. They lift heavy, jump high, but they're slow between contacts. Reactive speed depends on fast twitch fibers in your glutes and tendon recoil, the stuff that fires in tiny fractions of a second. Train these right, and you don't just become fast. You become a nightmare to defend. This is what makes Vinícius accelerate past defenders effortlessly. What lets Salah time bursts perfectly. What made young Messi the quickest player on the pitch, despite not being the fastest on paper. It's not pure speed, it's neural sharpness, timing. So how do you build it? Not heavy weightlifting, not endless reps, but isometrics. Static holds that fortify tendons, create stiffness, and supercharge elasticity. They look boring. They're not glamorous. But they're the secret behind longevity and explosiveness. Tendons are like rubber bands. The stiffer and more reactive, the more speed they return. And isometrics strengthen them without impact. The three foundational ones. 1. Deep lunge hold. Sink deep and hold for 2 to 3 minutes. Strengthens quads, hamstrings, and hip stabilizers, your acceleration engine. 2. Single leg stand, 90 seconds. Slight knee bend, toes gripping. Build stiffness and control. Essential for sharp cuts and rapid takeoffs. 3. Single leg wall sit, 2 minutes. Fires the entire posterior chain, glutes, hamstrings, calves. Do these 3 to 4 times a week. No weights, no equipment. Combine them with real sprint work, and your tendons turn into springs. But here's the golden rule. You only get faster by sprinting, full speed, not jogging, not half intensity. Literal maximum effort. Speed is a skill, and skills must be trained directly. You don't learn to ride a bike by doing squats. You learn by riding the bike. Same with sprinting. Your routine: 100-meter all-out sprint, 50-meter jog, 100-meter full sprint. Walk 50 meters. Repeat until you're fried. This builds true match speed, bursts plus recovery. Do it barefoot when possible to fix mechanics. Then add pogo jumps, one of the best ways to sharpen elasticity. Light bounce, quick ground contact, 4-foot landing. Start with 3 times 20 seconds. Build up, then mix in variations like single leg pogos and pogo sprint transitions. This trains your lower legs to become lightning fast and injury-proof. And every day, unlock your hips with the corner hip stretch. 45 seconds each side. It restores the natural bow-shaped alignment elite runners use. Tight hips equals dead speed. Now let's assemble the weekly plan. Monday, barefoot sprint session. Pogo jumps, hip stretch. Tuesday, isometrics plus light jogging. Wednesday, full sprint session plus single leg pogos. Thursday, single leg wall sits plus balance drills. Friday, sprint until failure plus advanced pogos. Saturday, active recovery. Sunday, rest. Let your body adapt. Stick to this for 4 weeks. You'll feel lighter, quicker, more in control. Defenders will seem slower, and space will feel bigger. Because speed isn't just physical, it's mental. Once you know you can outrun anyone, you play fearless. You try things you usually hesitate on. You become unpredictable, and that's when you're not just fast, you're dangerous. Speed isn't about size or strength. It's about technique, movement, and consistency. Train tendons like springs. Run barefoot to restore natural mechanics. Use pogos to increase explosiveness. Sprint hard and often. The fastest player isn't always the most gifted. It's the one who learned how to move properly. Take off your shoes, get outside, and sprint like your future depends on it. Because it does.